Hello friends! Thinking about choosing an engine is not necessary for a long time. Among the gasoline used inline 4 and 6-cylinder units, those who want to buy an X1 with a 3-liter naturally aspirated engine will have to be disappointed. These versions are a real rarity and were offered only before restyling. Approximately half of the proposals are cars with a 2-liter petrol engine, including turbocharged and direct injection, offering a good compromise between dynamics and fuel consumption. Slightly fewer ads with diesel versions. All of them are equipped with a modern 4-cylinder N47 turbo diesel equipped with common rail direct injection, 1 or 2 turbines, 23D and 25D. All variants of the 2-liter diesel engine with power from 116 to 218 horsepower differ only in attachments and electronics. Unfortunately, diesel engines can cause trouble. Some engines required timing repair, having traveled only 60 to 90,000 kilometers. In no case should the first symptoms of timing chain wear be ignored: noise when decelerating and idling. Some mechanics even recommend a preventive replacement of the timing drive kit, chain, gear, tensioner, after 100 to 150,000 kilometers. Although this is expensive, it will avoid more significant costs later due to damage to the camshafts or broken sprockets. The high cost of replacement is due to the location of the chain at the junction of the engine and the box, which has to be removed. The turbocharger does not differ in durability. Its resource is a little over 150 to 200,000 kilometers. Another drawback is the relatively short service life of the crankshaft damper pulley. It has to be updated after 120 to 160,000 kilometers. Gasoline engines are much more reliable, especially the 3-liter N52, 25i, and 28i until 2011. Among the features worth noting is the presence of a Valvetronic valve lift control system in the N46, 18i series engines, and a 2-channel turbine in the N55, 35i. Owners of gasoline X1s over time, after about 150,000 kilometers, will have to replace the Valvetronic system electric motor. Revs begin to float. N46 B20 versions S-Drive 18i, 2.0 with 150 horsepower, after 150,000 kilometers sometimes starts to consume a lot of oil. To eliminate the deficiency, it is necessary to replace the valve stem seals. In 2011, X1 modifications appeared with a 2-liter N20 series gasoline engine equipped with direct fuel injection, Vanos, and Valvetronic. The new unit received conflicting opinions regarding reliability. There are problems with the lubrication system, leading to the rotation of the liners. There are no problems for those owners who did not save on the quality and timing of oil changes. In addition, with high mileage, the failure of fuel injectors is inevitable. In conclusion, it is worth noting another drawback of the N20B20, the stretching and howling of the oil pump drive chain closer to 100,000 kilometers. In 2014, the chain was upgraded and its resource increased to 200,000 kilometers. In addition to the manual transmission, 3 automatic transmissions were used: 6-speed GM 6L45 and ZF 6HP19, and after restyling, all-wheel drive versions were equipped with an 8-speed automatic ZF 8HP45. 6-speed automatic transmissions could require repairs closer to 200 to 250,000 kilometers. The 6-band automatic is considered much more reliable. As for the automatic, the main thing here is not to forget to change the oil every 60,000 kilometers. The same must be done with the fluid in the X-Drive all-wheel drive transmission. While the X3 was offered exclusively with X-Drive all-wheel drive, the X1 could also be rear-wheel drive. Such machines are called S-Drive. The presence of this or that drive was determined by the motor. The The most powerful petrol and diesel versions, 23D and 25D, were all-wheel drive only. Base 18i and 16D have always been with a leading rear axle. In other variants of the power unit, the buyer himself chose the type of transmission. With the advent of the BMW X1, the xDrive drive has been updated. The ATC 300 transfer case has been replaced by the ATC 350. In its bowels, you will find a triple gear that drives a parallel shaft connecting the transfer case to the differential on the front axle. The classic differential has been completely replaced with a multi-plate clutch controlled by an electric motor, which also includes a control unit. Under normal conditions, the car is driven by the rear axle. The front wheels are connected if necessary, and not only when the rear axle loses traction, but also in turns. In difficult weather conditions, this solution works great. After 120 to 180,000 kilometers, the front gearbox sometimes starts to make noise. The bearings wear out. After a while, fogging is detected in the area of the shank of the rear gearbox. There are a number of other features associated with the xDrive version. For example, it uses a hydraulic power steering with a gear ratio of 18.5 to 1. And the S-Drive has an electromechanical power steering with a sharper 16.1 to 1 steering. In both cases, 2 lower levers per wheel are installed in front, transverse and oblique. In the S-Drive version, the rear arm is transverse, and the front oblique is equipped with a hydraulic rubber support. Only from May of 2011, before that, the usual rubber bushing. In the xDrive, the front arm is transverse and the rear arm is oblique with hydraulic silent block the entire production period. The hydraulic rubber support is supplied separately. In the xDrive, the design of the lever provides for the replacement of the ball joint, and in the S-Drive, the original levers are only assembled. As substitutes, it is better to use Lemforder products, which are a supplier of spare parts for BMW. The once popular Mail is no longer as good as it used to be. The service life of the undercarriage largely depends on the radius of the wheels and the height of the tire profile. The geometry of the wheels must be adapted to the dimensions in order to avoid rapid tire wear. It is worth mentioning another technical feature associated with the X1. We are talking about connecting the hubs with the front axle shafts. Here, not a classic spline connection is used, but a cylindrical one with a gear wheel. The classic aforementioned solution is retained on the rear axle. Knocking in the steering after 100 to 150,000 kilometers can be caused by wear on the steering rack or the lower section of the steering shaft. If you know of other model malfunctions, be sure to write about it.